Come and get it. I see it.
This is a CNX, man. You know, man, like trash going Zoe Yellow, bro. How much time do you spend on Zoe Yellow?
It's alright, I don't know. A couple times a week.
You don't know, a couple times a week.
So I'm gonna go and
Yo, you
get drunk
always
and
get
shot.
lit, man. You never sleep, bro. You never sleep, bro. I'm glad your
Sleep is
eyes are
gonna
still working, bro.
All right. So we're at Saruda Finest Pastry on Ningman Road in Chiang Mai. This is like a ultra swanky, bougie pastry place.
Yeah.
The person who founded it, I believe it's a Thai chef that was trained in France and in Japan. They worked in like a patisserie.
Yeah.
And then I think it's a woman. She came back and then brought all her knowledge and kind of fused it together. And so it's like just an amazing place with the food is just as much art as it is food. Like it's really just beautiful pieces of pastries. And it's kind of expensive by Thailand standards, but I like to come here once in a while just to kind of treat myself. And
How you got the name Cake.
yeah, that's how Ganji gave me the name Cake. And so I thought it would be a fun place to come do the second part of the interview with Ganji, where we're gonna talk about Triple Edge and how he got into music and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. All right, let's talk about music. So you are part of the Chiang Mai music collective Triple Edge. So talk to me a little bit about the formation of that. Like how did that start? Why did it start? All that good stuff, the history.
Yeah, man. I was doing a lot of bicycle activism, and I was doing stuff for the community, which was bicycle related here. And
When you say the community,
Chiang Mai.
okay.
Yeah, and I was doing like events and stuff, whatever. And I was ready, like, I was doing like some public speaking, I never prepared anything actually, but I would just like wing it, well, I don't know, improvise, straight ass improvise. And anyway, what it's got to do is that because I was doing all this activity, I come from a background, I'm Burmese, half British. Mom works for, directs an NGO, and works with people on the border. My dad's a refugee, ran away. He's ex-guerrilla army, right, and like all this stuff.
In Myanmar.
Yeah. And
Remember, the audience might not know anything about geography in this region. You
Yeah,
gotta like read.
Yeah. Anyway, they work on the border, right? Constantly on the border. That's why we're here in Chiang Mai. And they met not too far away, and blah blah. I'm here, right? But anyway, I'm just saying, like.
And then magic happened, and then.
Yeah, but so all my life I've been surrounded with like my mom's activism, my dad's activity, and so I'm always like, man, one day I gotta like, it's my job as their son, as part of my family or part of the struggle to like represent and like speak on their, speak about this, talk about it, because people don't, like now it's blowing off right now, but like before that, people didn't really care. People were like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna visit it and something, like what's this place? It's kind of like new and unexplored frontier, blah blah blah. But like it was like one of those places, like damn, what is this place? This place is like nobody even knows, like Myanmar is such a new name too.
Right.
Like it was Burma before, right? And so anyway, it has all this turmoil, right? And it's a conflict of ethnic people, indigenous people, and the civil rights, all the human rights movements in there, and all the things just going down, and it's always been going down. People, no matter how people like say it's always in a peace process or whatever, but it's always going down, Anyway, but so I was like, man, I'm helping out this community, but how can I do to give back to mine, to get back to what my roots is at, where my roots are, and what I can, and how can I achieve this, right? I mean, like, cause my skill set, I'm not, great at writing reports and, getting funding for organization, and like doing accounting and making sure everything, anyway, things that to do with NGOs. But I'm just saying, like, what can I do as who I am, that I could do back to give back to my people? What skill do I have? And so what people need over there is money, right? They need they need media coverage. Right now we're everybody's covering it. I mean, it's kind of dead silent now, but
Up until about 2 weeks ago, it was
it was on world news everywhere. And it's still happening. It's just like not people were like moved on. It's a trend, right? I don't know, but it's not for us because our livelihood.
Right.
And so anyway, so we don't, they always call out the world to help us, but it's the world, the world has their own problems too. That's the sad reality. Anyway, but so I was like, what can I do because I do all this stuff, but how can I raise awareness and put money into my people's hands, right? Because the refugees on the border, they have no food, they have no supply, they have this and that, they have all these problems, budget cuts and da 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 da, right? And so I'm like, man, what can I do? And so, and I always liked hip hop. I had like a punk spree and indie phase, whatever moment during high school. When you're like adolescent, full of puberty or whatever.
Exploring.
And you're like, I don't know, whatever. But because I got it grounded, because when I finished high school, I started like thinking about community, you know what I mean? And so, because of community, for me, like the strongest community sense music is hip hop. Like rappers are rapping about who? Their community. They always represent who they are. That's how you gotta be real in hip hop. Because if you're not real, then they ain't gonna listen to you. And then or
at least that's how it used to be. I don't know nowadays.
I don't know. I mean, but like hip hop that I respect.
Right.
That I respect is like people that rap about their community and like they're doing like they're talking real and real problems and about trying to uplift conscious hip hop, right? Talib Kweli, Mos Def, right? Dead Prez, all these. You have like big name Tupac Shakur, right? All this like people that big name regular people know, right? And so like I'm like that's because I know that hip hop is rising in Thailand and it's like a big thing. It's starting to be a big thing. And so I was like, and you see all these rap stars have a lot of money, right? I'm like, if you can make a lot of money, they spend it on diamonds, but I don't want it on diamonds. I want the money to go to my people. I don't need cars and nice and fancy things. I just need, give me money, give it to my people. Easy as that, A to B. Rap. So I was like, in rap, in hip hop, you could raise awareness, do music, and people will listen to it. Because I don't know how often nowadays kids read articles. Like long ass articles. Whereas if you rap about a song and it blows up, you know everything about that song. You're like, oh, what is he saying? Why is he saying this? Why is he saying he got a chopper and he's shooting up like? Because his neighborhood's bad, or something like that, And so they have a problem in the neighborhood, and then that like it's a whole thing. That people like, oh, Tupac was in this neighborhood, he was hanging out with his and that and that, and all this stuff, right? And then you start learning about where they're from, and how they were made who they are, right? And so you have to do their research. Anyway, but I was saying that hip hop was the greatest outlet to like bring your community together, and for me to like connect with my roots, where I can connect with artists of my culture, because I sacrificed my mother tongue to go speak English, so I don't speak as good anymore, and like I'm practically terrible, but what I can do is I can organize, I can make people show up, do this, do that, and I can. And it's a good way of me learning about my culture, good way of learning, connecting with them and like talking to them about things and learning, my language back, even if it's a little bit, it's better than nothing,
Right.
Yeah. And so I bring all these people together and they have a story to tell, and it's not, Triple Edge is not just, I wanted to create something so that I can raise awareness you know, and also make money. But raise awareness is probably the most initial goal, right? To talk about the situation, but also have fun doing it, you know, because if you don't have a passion, it's not going to continue. You know, you're just like, oh man, work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you have passion and you believe in it, and of course you're gonna keep on going. You know, and so yeah, so I started Triple Edge with my dude. I was like working 5 jobs. I was a delivery man. I was a hotel concierge. I was an MC, and I was like a host. I wouldn't say MC. MC in hip hop is like ultimate bar level, you know. So I wouldn't say I'm like MC, you know. Anyway, but I was a host, and I was doing all this stuff and running these things, and so I was like, why not do hip hop, you know? You know, what's the worst, you know? I'm doing it for a good cause, you know, and I'm not doing it, I'm not here for showing off or like trying to be the #1 in the world rapper or something like that. And I'm just like, just trying to say something, you know? Yeah, I'm not like all the other rappers that are like trying to be the top, you know? And I understand that hunger is fine, you know? It's just not me, yeah. And so, anyway,
CNX, baby, CNX, oh what's next? CNX, baby, CNX.
Like layers of flavor.
layers of flavor. It's like a Shrek cake. All right, man, it's a big ass piece.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's good, man.